Hello students, this is Siddharth Mehta. I am English and Verbal Mentor at Career Launcher and author of CR Nuggets for Law exam. So today I'm going to discuss one question that appeared in ZAT exam. Actually, I posted this question in my Telegram channel and lot many students got it wrong. So I thought that I should make a video on this particular question. So let us begin. By the way, if you are not part of the Telegram channel till now, then I will be sharing the link in the description box. I put up questions from the previous year exams and also the fresh questions for CR and RC. Right. So this was the question that I posted. This appeared in ZAT 2020. So this is the question. So if you can stop the video and read the question before proceeding to the solution. So the question says that the global surface temperature in 2019 are on track to be either the second or third warmest since records began in the mid 1800s, behind only 2016 and possibly 2017. So it talks about that global surface temperature will be this time in 2019. It will be either global surface temperature will be either second or third since the record began in 1800. So they started keeping the record in 1800 and the year 2019 it will be either second or third behind only 2016. So 2016 is definitely the year with the highest recorded temperature. 2016 is definitely highest, and it says possibly 2017 also, right? So 2019 is going to be hot year. That's what it says. On top of the long-term warming trend, temperature in 2019 have been buoyed by a moderate El Nino event that is likely to persist through the rest of the year. So it says that on top of the long-term warming trend, so there is some trend that can be seen that the weather is becoming warmer, and it is saying that on the top of the long-term warming trend, there is going to be another thing, moderate El Nino. So for 2019, there are two things. One is the long-term thing that is mentioned, and the second is the El Nino that is mentioned. So on top of the long term, this is also causing the temperature to be warm, perhaps, right? Yeah, not perhaps, it's clearly mentioned. So what the question asks, which of the following statement can be best inferred based on the above paragraph? What do we mean by inference? Inference means something that is mentioned in the passage but in a slightly different language, not directly picked up, but in a slightly different language, it is mentioned in the passage. So let us see. Global surface temperature are increasing at a constant rate for 3 years. Now we have been given information about 2016 and 2017, and even then we know, even in this information, we know that 2016 was the hottest year. 2018, no information is given. So we cannot say that it is increasing at a constant rate because of couple of reasons. No information about 2018 is given, plus anyways 2016 was the hottest year, so there is no increase. So I can't say constant rate of increase. So this is definitely something not mentioned in the passage. Answer cannot be this. Second, a moderate El Nino event increases temperature more than a weak El Nino event. Now, certainly in the passage, it is given that moderate El Nino event increases temperature, but no, but the passage doesn't talk about what happens in the weak El Nino event. So this is also not mentioned in the passage, what I called as out of purview, not mentioned in the passage. All right. Then next, El Nino event did not affect temperatures in 2016 and 2017. So again, nothing of this sort is mentioned that what happened in 2016 and 17 with respect to El Nino. Again, out of purview. Out of purview means something that has not been discussed in the passage. The El Nino event causes global surface temperature to rise in the long term. Now, 50% of the students have marked this as the answer. El Nino event causes global surface temperature to rise in the long term. Looks a very, very tempting option. So certainly I will consider this as the answer. Let me look at E. The long-term trend of global surface temperature is unrelated to El Nino. The long-term trend of global surface temperature is unrelated to El Nino. Now, if you look at this option, what does the last line of the of this small passage says? It says that on top of the long-term warning trend. So this was always there. Reason number one was always there, that has caused 2019 to be a warm year, long-term trend. In addition to it, there is El Nino. So definitely there is no relationship between El Nino and long-term effect. So that's why we can say that E is a better choice than D. D looks tempting, but E is a better choice. Now let me tell you why D is not the answer. El Nino event causes global surface temperature to rise. Yes, it does. It does. But in the long term, no, not in the long term. Why? Because in the passage, these two are given as two separate reasons for 2019. One is the long term and second is the El Nino. So these are two separate reasons. So in the long term, I can't say. In fact, passage says opposite of this, right? Passage says that on the top of long-term warming trend, this is also one of the reasons. So that is why answer is option number E and not D. So very tricky question, and that's why I can understand that why most of the students marked D as the answer. But the keyword is this. In this passage, the keyword is this: on the top of. On the top of means in addition to this. So there is some other reason to it. So that's it. I hope you understood why answer is E for this particular question. Thank you very much.